She slammed her hand on the desk and shouted loud enough for the whole office to hear, "You're not worth the chair you're sitting on." Nobody said a word. Eyes dropped to keyboards, mouths shut tight. Just silence. Like it was normal. Like people were used to it. I didn't say anything either. Not yet. Because that wasn't the first time she tried to crush me. It was just the loudest. That morning I had dropped my kid off at school after skipping breakfast again. Gaslight on. Wallet light too. I had $2 and a coffee I didn't finish. And still, I walked into that building with my head up. Because I knew something she didn't. She thought I was weak. Thought being kind meant being easy to push around. She thought people like me don't fight back, don't make noise. But here's the thing about people like me. We don't break easy. We bend, we bleed, we bite our tongue. But we don't break. She kept talking like she ran the world. Like her clipboard gave her power over people's worth. "You'll never get promoted here," she said, flipping her hair and laughing like it was funny. But while she was laughing, I was recording, because what she didn't know, what no one in that office knew, is that I wasn't just some tired single dad trying to make rent. I was military intelligence, 10 years deep. I've cracked codes harder than her fake authority. I've been trained to stay calm when bullets are flying. So yeah, I stayed calm. But not because I was scared, because I had a plan and she was walking straight into it. That same evening I went home and pulled out a black case from the back of my closet. Not a weapon, nothing dramatic. Just a folder. Thick. Heavy. Inside were papers she'd never expect me to have. Letters of clearance, old credentials. Proof of who I used to be and who I still was. I scanned through them like I'd done 100 times before, but this time, with purpose. I stopped at one document, held it up to the light. That one was enough. That one would change everything. Next morning, I walked into the office earlier than usual. She was already there, fake smiling and barking orders at someone half her age. When she saw me, she rolled her eyes and muttered something under her breath, but I smiled. Calm. Focused. "Morning," I said. She didn't reply, just slammed her mug down and pointed at my desk. "You've got paperwork to file. I don't want to hear a word from you today." I nodded and walked right past her, straight into the director's office. Now, this part matters, because people like her, they think the world is a ladder and they're always a few steps above you. They don't realize someone like me already climbed that ladder once, and jumped off by choice. The director looked up, confused. "Everything okay?" I placed the document on his desk. No words, just a look. He read it, looked at me, read it again. "Why didn't you ever say anything?" he asked. I shrugged. Didn't need to, but now it's time. 10 minutes later, she was called in. You should have seen her face, arrogance draining out like someone pulled the plug. "I don't understand. Why am I here?" she said, faking that clueless tone like always. The director turned to her, calm, cold. "You've been reported for harassment, power abuse, and creating a hostile work environment." Her mouth dropped open. "By who?" He nodded toward me. She laughed. "Him, please. He's nothing." That's when I said it. Quiet, steady, looking her dead in the eye. "I may be nothing to you, but out there, I've led missions that kept people like you safe while you were sleeping." You could hear the air leave the room. She tried to laugh it off. "Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. He's making all this up." But the director didn't laugh. No one did. Because I had more than just a story. I had evidence. I slid my phone across the table. "Play the last recording." And there it was, her voice clear as day. "You're not worth the chair you're sitting on. People like you should be lucky. We even let you in the building." The director looked stunned. HR was already in the room by then, papers in hand. She reached for the phone like she could still control the narrative. "You can't just record people." HR cut her off, calm but firm. "In this state, he absolutely can, especially when protecting himself from workplace abuse." She went pale, started stammering, pulling out excuses, blaming stress, even pretending to cry. "I'm under pressure. I didn't mean it like that. He's twisting my words." But they'd all heard the truth. No way to spin it now. The director stood up. We'll be suspending you effective immediately while we conduct a full investigation. She froze, eyes wide. Suspending me? Me? Do you even know who I am? I looked at her and smiled just a little. You're about to find out who I am. She stormed out, muttering threats under her breath, still trying to act like she had power. But it was gone, all of it. That moment didn't feel like victory, not really. It felt like balance, like gravity finally doing its job. I walked out of that office slow and steady, and for the first time in months, the people around me didn't look away. One of the interns, quiet guy, always kept to himself, nodded as I passed. Just one word, respect, and man. That meant more than any apology ever could. The news spread fast. By lunchtime, everyone knew, not just about the suspension, but about me. No more whispers behind my back. No more eyes darting away. Instead, people started showing up at my desk. First, it was a quiet, thanks for standing up, then stories started spilling out. She told me I'd never get a raise unless I acted more grateful. She made me cry my first week here. She threatened to fire me over a parking spot. Turns out, she didn't just go after me. She'd been doing this for years. I wasn't the first. I was just the first to record it. And the director? He called me back into his office that same week, sat me down, offered something I didn't expect. We'd like you to lead the internal ethics review team. You've clearly got the backbone and the brains. I didn't say yes right away. I didn't care about the title. I cared about what came with it, real change, protection for the ones who couldn't speak up. I'll do it, I said, but only if you're serious about cleaning house. He looked me in the eye. I am now. And that was it. 3 days later, she was officially terminated. Not just for what she did to me, but for a list so long it made people shake their heads. But here's the twist she never saw coming. I never wanted revenge. That wasn't the point. It was about worth. She thought my worth came from my silence, from staying small, from letting her talk down to me without fighting back. But real worth? It comes from knowing who you are when nobody's clapping. I fought for this country. I built my life from scratch. I raised a kid on my own. I don't need your title to tell me what I'm worth, and neither do you.